All right, Frank, we're back for number 70 on your list. It's Strange Days. Strange Days is a 1995 sci-fi crime thriller directed by Kathryn Bigelow and starring Ray Fiennes, Angela Bassett, Juliette Lewis, Tom Sizemore, Michael Wincott, Vincent D'Onofrio, Glenn Plummer, Brigitte Bako, Richard Edson, William Fichtner, and more. Strange Days is a film about a man who deals in recorded memories that serve as a type of VR experience, who uncovers the targeted murder of a highly vocal critic of the LAPD. Your thoughts on Strange Days are? I remember thinking this was the best movie ever made when watching this. It's probably just okay. Let me know. Was I right? I'm not going to say best movie ever made, no. It is interesting. Strange Days is really interesting. It was a fascinating watch in the ideas that it put forth about like memories and action being recorded and then being experienced, the ability to experience that by another person and essentially like sort of like live in those memories, if that makes sense. So in the last video, Executive Decision, in your response, you said this should be a TV show. And I don't I don't agree with that about Executive Decision. I think they should have just worked on the script a little bit more. But the thing is, like, I think Strange Days actually should be a TV show. It's 2 hours and 25 minutes, and even though it was like I definitely felt the time watching it. It's a fascinating premise, and Kathryn Bigelow builds a world that is so expansive that you could legit make Strange Days into at least a 12-hour miniseries, if not a multi-season show, I think. Present a mystery through the VR experience that they have and use the subsequent episodes to solve that mystery. I mean, that's what Strange Days does. They set up the mystery of this musician who's like a vocal critic of the LAPD who gets murdered under like mysterious circumstances, or what we think is mysterious circumstances. And then the VR experience happens and like you find out that there's more to that. It's one of those weird films where it's like it simultaneously feels like too much and not enough at the same time. You know, and again, that's where I think like the TV series would fit this best. The one thing that I thought was hilarious to me about Strange Days, it's literally the only note that I wrote down on my thing, is the fact that this movie was released in 1995, okay, which means that it was probably shot in 1994 or very early 1995. And it's supposed to take place in 1999 on the eve of the millennium. We barely had internet in 1995. And supposedly in this movie by 1999, we have a device that you can put on your head and that will literally record your life onto a disc and then let people experience that by also putting the headset and putting that disc in. They can sort of, it's the best way that I know how to describe it is like, it's like a VR experience that's beamed straight into your head. Like you don't need goggles. It just beams straight into your head. And it's just hilarious to me that they were that ambitious that they were like, oh, in like 4 more years, we'll totally be able to do that. Like we didn't even have video conferencing at that point. Like I don't even think that Amazon.com existed at that point. Like for real, the jump that you have to make to believe that this is going to happen by the end of the millennium, it just had me laughing literally the whole movie. Like every time they would bring out some kind of piece of ridiculous technology, I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me, dude. Ray Fiennes, I mean, he's great in everything that he does. He's great in this. He's so sleazy, you know, but Kathryn Bigelow does such a great job getting him to be this sleazy dude that you still end up rooting for because he just wants to like get back with the love of his life. I don't know that Juliette Lewis was the best casting pick for this. I think maybe she was cast because her character is the lead singer of a band, and she had her own band and maybe still has her own band, I'm not sure. But I think it probably made sense because she was a singer in real life, and they could be like, oh, this character is the singer of her own band, we'll just do that. But while I like Juliette Lewis as an actress, I just don't know if she was the right choice for this. Angela Bassett is awesome. Vincent D'Onofrio and William Fichtner is like the LAPD cops, the evil LAPD cops. Great casting choice. But yeah, the casting in this movie was great. They did a really good job of sort of like doing the thing where it's like you're in the future, but you're not too far in the future. So there's like a little bit of stuff that's like just futuristic enough where you know that like you're a little bit ahead of where you are. But again, they got a little ambitious on a few things. So would I recommend watching Strange Days? Yes, but with the caveat that like it's not, I wouldn't say that it's a great film. It was enjoyable enough for what it was. Performances are good, direction's good, all that kind of stuff, but it is handicapped by its runtime, both because it's too long and because it's too short. And that's kind of a rare thing, but I think that there's a lot of great ideas in Strange Days, and I think that there are definitely things that are entertaining in Strange Days, but it's not one that I would say like run out and watch, like go watch this right now. I wouldn't go that far. Okay, so next up on your list is number 71. It's The Saint, starring Val Kilmer. This is another one that came out when I was a kid. I think I was old enough to watch this at the time, but just didn't get around to it for whatever reason. So interested in catching up on it. That's it for Strange Days. You can like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Frank, next time, have a good one.